broadcast channel. If you're with us at Philadelphia Live, we'll be right back in just 2 minutes.
Take it.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is Philadelphia Live. That is an image that the FBI wants you to see. They believe that this person has something to do with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. You know this. It is Savannah Guthrie's mom. She's 84 years old. She's been missing for the better part of 10 days. Law enforcement has been unable to get any images until now. And basically they're telling us that these images that you're looking at are coming from the front door of Nancy Guthrie's Tucson, Arizona home. They had to work with their partners and get at these images because they do believe at some point someone tampered with the camera at her house to try and make sure that no one would see these images. You see that the person there is fully covered on the face. You see that they're wearing a type of glove that many people have not seen before. You have to believe that both of those things, that's the glove there, are being done so no one can detect or figure out who that person is. Interestingly, the Guthrie family says they have no idea who this person is. They have seen these images and they are saying this person is not recognizable to them. The other thing that we're doing, we are waiting for a White House press briefing. It was supposed to happen at 1 p.m. Obviously, with these new developments coming out of the FBI, we expect that topic to be discussed at the White House, and you can also understand potentially why that briefing has been delayed. We're going to continue to show you these images because the FBI wants anyone and everyone to see them, see if they recognize the person that is in those pictures. Back here in Philadelphia, we're going to switch gears a little bit. As you know, FIFA is coming to Philadelphia. The World Cup is going to be a big, major event. It's a moneymaker, and it's really going to show people who we are. At the same time, the Philadelphia Union, who, by the way, just got some new uniforms, is co-hosting something they're calling the New Snow Bowl. It's a tournament right there at their sports complex. Chris O'Connell is always there when we're talking about soccer. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Jen. Coming to you live from Chester, PA, the Wisfis Sports Complex, where, we're talking about the World Cup. This isn't the World Cup, but I can tell you some of the players, probably some of the ones you see behind me right now, are going to be playing in the World Cup someday because the Philadelphia Union sponsoring a week-long youth tournament from academy teams from across the world. So you see behind me right now The youth team from Manchester United is on the field right now, along with Borussia Dortmund, a German team. These are the youth academy teams that are been brought to Philly or Chester for the next week to play against each other in an indoor format. Obviously, it's freezing outside. To kind of sharpen their skills. And these are eventually going to be the premier soccer players around the world. Some of these teams anyway. So they're brought in here. If you know the academy system, Jen, it's very different than traditional professional sports when it comes to soccer, because usually with soccer you have to have the rights to players, and a lot of those rights start here in the academies when they are developing in them in 12, 13, 14 years old. Not only do they have the field here, but they have the school and classrooms across from here where students come. This is where they spend their entire days. They're in their classrooms, they're learning, and then they're working out and they're playing soccer, all moving up to the next level. You know, the big level obviously would be the MLS here. And then once you get to the MLS, that is when you can get transferred and dealt out to some of the bigger Premier League type teams like a Manchester United. So all of this development is kind of happening right here behind me. If you want to get a chance, this is free and open to the public this week. Schedule is on Philadelphia Union's website, but you can come and check out some of these youth players, and they're really, really good. And a little prelim for the World Cup happening here in June. So I talked to a couple of the players. It's just, they're thrilled to be here, to be playing against, hey, babe, thrilled to be playing against other international competition to their caliber, different styles of play. So it's really exciting for these kids to come here to Chester and check out their style of play and play against some really good competition and get ready for the World Cup when, the big boys play coming in June and July, actually.
So I know that they say that the Philadelphia Union, Chris, is really unique in the fact that they do have one of these academies. I do see on the list a Chicago Fire FC. I'm assuming they too have one. Are we using the European model? Because if they're all here kind of doing what we're doing, right? That, like you said, they go to school there, they're trained there, they're training with the A team, the Philadelphia Union. But when I've been down there, they've said not everyone has the facility. So I'm assuming that's one of the reasons why these European teams want to be here, because they use that model.
It is. And again, it's playing against different styles of play, different levels of competition. And when you're talking about the academy, Jen, yes, Chicago has their own academy. But when you talk about the Philadelphia Union, and I'm learning this in soccer circles, the Philadelphia Union is the pinnacle of soccer academies here in the United States. And this is the reason why this facility was built not less than 2 years ago, an amazing facility here in Chester to accompany the Subaru Park, which is next door. So yes, they are taking that model. It's development in the younger, bring them up through the ranks and try to get them to the more Premier Leagues. Because you look at soccer levels, the MLS isn't the top tier level. You go to the Premier and the Championship leagues in Europe. That is really what a lot of these kids want to get to. But here in the United States, it's the MLS.
All right, I like it. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate the help today. It looks great.
You got it.
Okay. Back in Washington, there's two things that we're watching. You see right there, that's the White House press conference podium. We are waiting for that. The other thing that we're looking at, there has been a meeting. The minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, in the House of Representatives has been speaking. That's the top box, I do believe. And then we're still looking in on this Homeland Security Committee meeting. He's the chair right there on that bottom corner. Basically, there are people within this committee that want to know what the strategy is in cities like Minneapolis, in places like Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, what the administration's plan is, who they're looking for. About 20 minutes ago, one of the people that was asking the committee chair said, you know what, we understand going after gangsters. We don't want you going after grandparents. We're going to listen into this committee as we wait for the White House press briefing.
To an ongoing investigation.
Sir, I don't want to impede
or
I don't want you to.
prejudice the investigation.
No,
in any way?
not this one. Any, as in your profession now, but any investigation. What's the rationale? Not this one, any.
Same for any investigation, sir. I don't want to.
You would not want
I don't
to
want to
tell us-
bias or put my finger on the scale of any investigation.
You not. What's the rationale for your not testifying about it is my question.
I don't understand your question, sir.
What does the law say? What is the rationale? What harm would it do if you testified?
Because I don't want have the full facts of the case yet, sir.
Exactly, that's what I expected you to say. You don't have the full facts. Thank you. And I assume you would agree with this, Mr. Scott, is this true?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Edlow, you would agree?
I assume so. I'm not a professional in law enforcement.
Well,
I'm
but
an
you're a
attorney.
professional person with a degree of intellect such that you can comment on whether or not.
Well, I
this
certainly
cause
would
harm.
not comment on anything.
Not a specific case. We're talking about now any case. Would you agree that it would cause harm for you to testify before there's an investigation?
Certainly without having all the facts.
All right, surely you would agree. Which brings us to Secretary Nome. Secretary Nome accused Mr. Preddy of brandishing a firearm while wishing to inflict harm on the officers. Secretary Nome. Same rules that apply to you apply to Secretary Nome. Accused this gentleman, Mr. Preddy, of brandishing a firearm. Secretary Nome doing this when she did without an investigation. We have to agree that there's not been an investigation. I don't think I have to ask you that. Not a complete investigation that we know of anyway. She did it right afterwards. Having done this, she is violating this very basic principle that you have called to our attention today. And we have to ask ourselves, why would she go so far as to say brandishing when he did not? The video will clearly show it.
All right, we are going to go back to this video. Again, all of this is breaking news. It's the Nancy Guthrie investigation, Savannah Guthrie's mom. I want to show you some video right here. This is coming from the FBI Director, Kash Patel. He's saying additional recovered images from the same camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning of her disappearance, including 2 videos of the individual. Anyone with any information, they want you to contact 1-800-CALL-FBI or go to tips@fbi.gov. So remember, as we look at this video, it is the middle of the night. This individual is at the door of an 84-year-old. Are they knocking? It looks like or they're trying to cover the camera. So it looks like they're trying to cover the camera. And again, you see these, I've never seen gloves like that. They look almost like boxing gloves, if you will. And the assumption, we heard it earlier from our Fox broadcast partners, is that whoever is this person is doing taking great lengths to conceal and not have any DNA evidence left behind. Oh, that's the camera. Okay, and look at that. That looks like a bush. Earlier, I thought it might have been zip ties, but when you see that, it looks like he's trying to use that debris there, probably from her own yard, to cover the camera. Interestingly, that this individual, they've got a light in his mouth, that it's the middle of the night. You have to wonder if that person had ever been to the house before to know that there was a camera. I'm not sure that I would notice a camera in the middle of the night. Again, he does have a light, looks like it's pretty bright in, I'm saying him because he looks to be a man, but I don't know that to be the case, obviously. If you're just joining us, law enforcement has released images. This is video coming from FBI Director Kash Patel. And for 10 long days, authorities in Tucson, Arizona have not been able to provide us with anything like this. We do know that at some point during the investigation, federal authorities brought in forensic tech experts because they had to go in and find these images. These images apparently at some point were discarded. You have to imagine probably by the person who is responsible for the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. And so now using forensic technology and advanced you know, whatever they're doing in the tech world, they were able to recover these images. Wow, these images are just so important. Savannah Guthrie saying, quote, "We believe she is still alive. Bring her home." Earlier today, or was it yesterday, we saw her latest video, and it was unscripted. It wasn't like the letters that we've seen before, where she said, "You may be..." 6 minutes ago is when she posted that, "Bring her home." And she's talking about her mom. She's talking about her 84-year-old mother. Interestingly, we know this. The Guthrie family, her brother, her sister, and Savannah Guthrie, they've been shown these images, and we're being told that they do not recognize the person in these images. You have to believe that anyone and everyone that has worked with the family in that home nearby has been looked at. And so the fact that these three family members, again, Savannah, her brother, and her sister, have looked at these images and they can't tell who this individual is. Interestingly, we do have that soundbite from yesterday. Yeah. All right, we're going to listen to Savannah. I want you to listen to her when she says she needs your help finding her mom.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
So right there, that is Savannah Guthrie.
Hi there.
Begging for your help. If you're just joining us, we are Philadelphia Live. We're going to be with you until 2 p.m. At this point, there is no word on whether or not there will be a Pima County Sheriff's Department press briefing. We do know that we've been waiting since 1 o'clock for the White House press briefing. You have to believe with FBI Director Kash Patel putting out these images and that video that the briefing will be very important and delayed. Savannah said it, and we've heard this from law enforcement for the better part of 10 days. Her mom, 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, could literally be anywhere at this point. So if these images look familiar to you, if you know someone that is wearing something that looks like that, they want you to call. You might be in Philadelphia, you might be in New Jersey. We know people watch us in Knoxville, Tennessee. But if that individual looks familiar to you, it is your responsibility to get in touch with law enforcement. And again, I just want to bring you back to what was happening when this image, this video was captured. It was in the middle of the night on a Saturday night. Nancy Guthrie, this is what we do know, had dinner with her daughter and her son-in-law. The son-in-law dropped her off at this home at about 9:30 at night. We believe these images are in the middle of the night, somewhere between 1 and 2 a.m. And then Nancy Guthrie wasn't reported missing to authorities until a little bit after noon Arizona time. That's because she went missing. She didn't show up at church. So originally we had heard that authorities, the second they got there, the second they got to that home, they realized that they were thinking that Nancy Guthrie was taken. against her will. There was blood that was seen on the front part of her house. The other thing that they've talked about is the fact that they couldn't find cameras. Were cameras taken away? They were looking at everywhere, including the roof. And so now this is very interesting. Again, these are the words now of the FBI Director Kash Patel. Over the last 8 days, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department have been working closely with our private sector partners to continue to recover any image or video footage from Nancy Guthrie's home. That's what you're looking at right there. It is video footage that was lost, corrupted, or inaccessible until these federal forensic technical experts were able to get at it. Look at that hand. Look at that person's sweatshirt, what they're wearing.
You should mention the backpack.
The backpack is also interesting, JP.
Like the Luigi Mangione
That's
thing?
right. Luigi Mangione, one of the things that they were able to tell, they recognized the backpack. It was a specific backpack that was used for travelers, and apparently someone knew that he had that.
CEO.
It was the CEO. The CEO of the backpack company was able to trace that. You're right. That is the reason why everyone in this room gets a vote on what we are bringing to you guys. So again, look at that backpack. You see it right there. And again, look at, it's like a quarter zip of some kind. Arizona nights, we know this from covering the Super Bowl there a couple of years ago, they get very cold. You think about Arizona being in triple digits this time of year, which again is when we were there several years ago, it gets very, very cold. So I am not surprised to see this individual in clothing that looks like he's trying, and again, I keep saying I believe it's a man. That image looks like it's a man, but it could be a woman staying cold. Now, the video that we are looking at was recovered from residual data located in back-end systems. So again, the federal government went to their private sector partners and said, we need some help. And they got the help. It's here. These are the images. And like Savannah Guthrie said, like authorities have said, everyone wants you to take a look at this. Interestingly, it looks like he goes. Again, I keep saying he, but it looks like the individual goes and gets some type of something so that that individual can hide himself from that camera that's at the front of the house. The other thing that's happening right now, there are no press briefings planned at this time. The sheriff says that he is not conducting any one-on-one interviews. When and if a press conference is scheduled, they're going to notify the media via X. Yeah, that's right. It's about 39 degrees overnight. Thank you. In that area, again, when we were there for the Super Bowl, we were surprised, candidly, by the temperature. We are still waiting for the White House press briefing. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a break. We do believe that we are going to get this press briefing in. We want you to continue to look at these images. We're going to continue to scan everything we have. If it's live, it's happening, you're watching it right here on Philadelphia Live. We're going to be right back.